Assalamu alaikum. Joining me is Salwa Kadri, the program supervisor of the Rashid Mosque. Salwa, tell me about yourself in Edmonton, Alberta.
Um, my name is Salwa, and I've been working with Rashid Mosque for the past 10 years, but I have been here all my life. We were at the older mosque, with the one that got moved to Fort Edmonton when we were younger, and now we're here as adults. And in Edmonton, it was very nice to have the old mosque preserved in Edmonton. So it's a lot of history for the Al Rashid Mosque here in Edmonton.
Tell me more about yourself in Edmonton.
Myself, I really enjoy working here. I enjoy working to advance with the community and to see things grow, and to see the Muslim community growing, and a lot of activities. Edmonton in general, it's always been home. To me, I've moved away a few times. I've always ended up coming back home. So if I ever leave, I will end up probably coming back home.
What are some of the things that you like to do in Edmonton, or things that you would recommend visitors to Edmonton?
Edmonton, Alberta, in general, is very nice for campgrounds, river valleys, whitewater rafting. There's many things for the outdoor person. Alberta is definitely the place to come and to be here, especially like snow activities and stuff like that. It does get cold here where you don't want to do anything, so just hanging around the mosque and just having fun with the other members and just the youth club in general and doing activities in the mosque is fun when the cold gets too much. But definitely an outdoor place that we can have a lot of activities here.
Tell me more about Fort Edmonton Park and the first mosque in Canada being there.
I was here for the whole process. I was here at the old mosque. I used to attend the Sunday school programs and the youth programs there. I was here when they first moved this mosque. They built it, and I was also here when the ladies and general members of the community had lobbied and campaigned, and it was a lot of hard work for them to put the first mosque in Fort Edmonton, because they had to prove it was actually historic, and it was a big challenge for them, and they did it, and it made headlines, like national and international headlines. It was great. Being at Fort Edmonton, that mosque is a lot of history for Canada and for the Canadian Muslims, so it really relates that we are part of Canadian history, and this is, I'm so glad that it's there, because that's like physical evidence that yes, these Muslims were here way before a lot of other communities.
Great, and tell me more about the Muslim community in Edmonton, Alberta.
I'd say that if you would ask me 10 years ago, it was quiet. Everybody was a lot to their own. It was like, what to do? There's nothing to do. The kids, the conferences, the carnivals. It wasn't very like open and to everybody, and it was by word of mouth or announcements that were made at the mosque, and it wasn't really conference material. But now looking back, I'm looking back in the early 2000s when we launched. I think we were one of the very first mosques here in Edmonton to start launching and campaigning social media. And I remember when we released that first email, we gathered about 200 or 300 emails, and we released that first email, and people were like, "Whoa, that was so nice. You told us what was going on." And like, emailing wasn't that popular. People were still actually using advertising and the snail mail, I guess they call it. So we were so shocked how everybody was very happy to receive that first email. We sent it out to 200-300 people, and we're like, okay, let's launch Connect to Muslims. So we launched Connect to Muslims, and there was such a need for people to know what was going on that we collected like around 3,000 emails within 1 month. We're like, whoa, okay, definitely a need for social media. That was 10 years ago. Now your email box is just full, and you're like, oh, so much is happening, what to do. And so it's a big difference, very big difference. The last decade is huge difference for the Muslim community. I think social media has exposed what we can do and what we're capable of doing, in the fun, the carnivals, the conferences, the activities that we can engage. And I think social media helped us a lot, bringing the community together and the activities together.
You mentioned social media. With respect to media, you also mentioned the Mosquers in a previous conversation. Can you tell us more about that?
The Mosquers is an amateur film festival. It's a short film clip. It has to be under 9 minutes. And we have 3 categories. This is not an Al Rashid Mosque event, but we do sponsor the event. And I think it's wonderful because it gives us 3 categories: drama, comedy, and social conscience. And you get to submit a video. And of course, we'll pick the winners that night. The subfinals will go to that night. And this is a big event. Like, to us, it's relating, like media. You want to see how you want to portray Muslims in the media. And this is a fun way. It's not like the Islamophobia that people talk about, or the way the other media sometimes tends to portray Muslims. But this is a different kind of media. It's the media that where actually the artistic level of the Muslim community can come on camera, and they get to speak their mind on camera in a different point of view.
Great. Do you have any other activities or events that you'd like to mention that Edmonton does?
We have a lot of events. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with them, but I challenge anybody that if they have a good idea, we'll make it happen. Look at my office here. It's so busy. It's the program office. We are very, very happy, and we'd love to have anybody visit here, Muslims and non-Muslims.